2021 worst to best superhero movies. Okay, let's start with two things. First of all, how lucky are we that in the middle of a pandemic we get to go watch movies, and theaters were closed for a long time, but they have reopened partially, kind of, for some of these movies. And second is all film is subjective, so stuff that I may like doesn't mean you might like, and vice versa. Now that we got that out of the way, let's continue with the 7 worst to best superhero movies. And don't mind the broken elbow, my arm is still attached. Okay, number 7, Eternals. This movie just wasn't for me. Let's begin with that. I thought it was long and boring, and at one point I told my friends I just want everybody to die so that the movie can be over. It was for me, it was not great. My personal opinion, I think Chloe Zhao is a little bit overrated. I'm not a big fan of all her stuff. I'm not the biggest fan. She is an Academy Award winner. I have not directed anything in my life. And if she was to call me and say, hey, I want you to be in my next project, I would say absolutely yes, because you're freaking awesome. You're a director. I'm not. I'm a nobody. I'm learning. So Eternals wasn't for me. Didn't really like it, but some people did like it. And I think these characters will have major implications later on in the MCU. I mean, they're freaking Eternals. They play big things in the comics, and I'm sure they will play big things in the cinematic universe as well. Number 6, G.I. Joe, Snake Eyes, Origins, whatever this movie was called. Okay, the fight scenes were cool. Martial arts, karate, whatever fight style it was, they're cool, but that's it. The storyline wasn't great. The main character was kind of a jerk. I didn't really like him a lot. But I don't blame it too much. There's been a bunch of G.I. Joe movies, or several of them, and none of them have done very great. None of them are very memorable. So, I mean, it's just what it is. So, yeah, that's number 6. Number 5, Black Widow. This movie should have come out 5, 6, 10 years ago. It was long overdue. And the dynamics between the family, the main characters, that's great. It's awesome. It's funny. It's a great time. The villains and the ending of this movie, that's kind of where I lost it. Why? Well, a little bit of spoiler alert. The bad guy has an evil fortress, an evil lair floating in the sky, and that's where he does all his crazy stuff. And yeah, they have to bring it down, destroy it, comes crashing down, and that was one. And then there was another villain that doesn't speak, and I think plays it's supposed to be a kind of a big character, but it didn't speak, and it was forgettable. Yeah, the villains were not great. The whole fortress in the sky was an eye roller. But other than that, the dynamic between Natasha's family was great. Getting her dad out of prison and all that stuff. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Number 4, Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Okay, I really loved the first one. The first Venom was amazing. The second one, it's a short movie. It's like a tight 90 minutes. And Eddie Brock's dynamic with Venom is great, but I kind of want to see Venom ripping heads and eating people and things and doing crazy stuff. And we get to see some of that with Carnage. The fight at the end is great, but it's towards the end, and we don't really get as much of it as I personally would have liked. Some of you might have enjoyed it and thought it was a perfect movie. More power to you. So that was Venom for me. That was my number 4. Before we go to top 3, 1 dishonorable mention, 2 honorable mentions. Dishonorable mention, Thunder Force. I'm not going to tell you anymore. Watch the trailer. It's no bueno. That's what it is. It's rough, which is sad because I always want to see movies do good. There's a lot of people that work really hard to make these movies possible, from directors, producers, actors, crafts and services. Movies employ a lot of people, and when a movie does bad, that means there's not going to be a sequel or trilogy, and a lot of these people won't get jobs again. Now, not every movie deserves a sequel or a trilogy or any of that stuff, but anyway, that's a dishonorable mention. 2 honorable mentions. First of all, Zack Snyder's Justice League. I am not counting this as a 2021 release because it originally theatrically released a few years back. Also, this is like kind of a director's cut, which is amazing that the studio listened to the audience, to us, and said, hey, we're going to give you a crap ton of money, millions of dollars, to finish this movie, finish your scenes, reshoot some stuff, and you can have your vision. It's amazing. It was a little long in my opinion, but I did enjoy it. I liked it. The second, third act I thought was kind of good. The fight scenes, all that stuff was great. I enjoyed it. It was a little long, but a great movie overall. Second one, this is not really a comic book movie, superhero movie, but it does have a few references to the MCU, Star Wars, stuff like that. Free Guy. Free Guy kind of came out of nowhere, and it was a surprise. It was a pleasant surprise. I really enjoyed it. It was great. Ryan Reynolds did a fantastic job. I mean, when does Ryan Reynolds not do a fantastic job? Please. I went to watch it several times in theaters. I enjoyed it a lot, and I think there's talks for a sequel, so I'm really excited to see what happens. Okay, top three. First of all, Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi was freaking amazing. The first time I liked it, but I didn't think it was that amazing. Second time I watched it, I was like, wow, what was I thinking? That's like crazy. I enjoyed it a lot. The CGI is amazing. Tony Leung as a dad. Oh my gosh, this dude's awesome. I want to see more of his stuff now. The dragon, there's a freaking flying dragon. Please. It was amazing. I enjoyed it. Shang-Chi. This is a top MCU movie for sure. Second, Spider-Man No Way Home. I have not seen the theater this packed in years because we are 2 years in the pandemic, going towards 3 or 4. I don't know. We've been in this pandemic for far too long, and to see theaters packed and full and tons of people there was amazing. I will not say spoilers because this movie has still not released in some regions, so no spoilers. But big surprises. The theater erupted in laughter, in joy, in emotion as this movie progressed. It was amazing. Tom Holland's Peter Parker had to make some big decisions, big character growth, and it was from the trailers. You already know that some of the villains come back. It was amazing to see these villains again. Doc Ock, Green Goblin back on the big screen. Like, what? It was fantastic. So that's my number 2. And my number 1, this is personal. I love this movie. Not for everybody because not everybody liked this movie. It's a hard R. Definitely not for everybody. Yeah, it has a raunchy humor, kind of like Deadpool. And that is 2021's The Suicide Squad. Not the one that came out a few years ago. The Suicide Squad. This movie was amazing. I was going to try to do something crazy with my arm, but I can't lift this. I'm gonna re-break this arm again. But yeah, this movie, oh man, where do I even begin? Okay, so it's a bunch of characters that are misfits. They have done bad decisions in life, and they come together as a team to try to accomplish something. And in the process, you learn more about these characters. They have problems, they have issues, they have real life problems that are part of their lives. And one of the characters doesn't want his daughter to be like him, wants something better. Another character had issues with her father because he had addiction problems, substance abuse. Another one of these characters, Shark King, he wants to have friends, he wants to have family, he wants to have people he can hang out with, but it's kind of hard when you're a shark and you try to eat people that are around you. So yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. It was fantastic. I think I watched it in theaters like 5 times or something. I love this movie. It's amazing. The soundtrack, the visuals, the cinematography, the directing. For this year, this is my favorite comic book superhero movie of 2021. It's so amazing. I'm going to show you something. Okay, it's so amazing that this is something special that I got here. There. This is actually okay, you can at least see half of the poster or whatever is shown, but I love this movie. I am so proud of this poster. I'm trying to get a really cool poster or frame so I can hang it up on the wall. But that's it. These are my superhero movies for 2021. It was a blast. It was an awesome year to have movies, to enjoy this, go out with friends and hang out. What are your favorite movies, superhero movies of 2021? Leave them down in the comments below. And remember, folks, you owe it yourself to watch great cinema. Oh, my arm.